Hey there, it's Kat and this is Brews and Reviews. So, I am mad as fuck. Do you know why I'm mad as fuck? Because I just filmed this entire video, and I'm telling you, this video was originally about 20 minutes long, and none of it filmed. None of it. None of it filmed at all. So, if you see the crazy eyes over here, it's just a very frustrating thing that has just happened to me. So I'm really sorry that this isn't going to be as spontaneous as it was the first time I did it, but, you know, I'll just be bitter about it in my own head. Anyway, I am going to try and do this in the best way possible. It's going to be a much quicker video now because I've already found out all the answers to this. So today I'm going to be doing the Frankenbook challenge. I was tagged by Kayla from Crack It to a Good Book, and the original was by Ola Magic Reads. So if you want the fine details of how this tag works, then basically go to the original video and watch it through. She'll explain it way better than I can. But the idea of it is that we're going to make like a Frankenstein book out of a bunch of different other books. So the way that I'm doing this is ordering my shelves on my Goodreads and picking all of the books that I ticked 5 stars. So theoretically, every book has elements that I should really love in it. So yeah, hopefully it should make a good book. And I mean, to be fair, I think it has. I think it has made a good book, but like, well, an interesting one at least. I don't know, is it interesting? I don't know. So, of course I know, I've already filmed it once. I did a random number generator of 1 to 130 because there's apparently ish what number of 5-star reads that I have on my Goodreads shelf, so I had to count a lot in this video, and to be fair, it's probably not a bad idea that I cut all that out. So we're going to get straight into it. The first thing that we're going to find out is the genre. So the number that came up for this one was number 64, and that is Bloodstone by David Gemmell. I'm definitely not going to remember all the numbers for the rest of them, but I remember that one because I used it as a base to count up or downward. So Bloodstone is set in a sci-fi world with a twist of fantasy, so it's like got a bit of time travel in it as well. So the genre is sort of sci-fi fantasy with a bit of time travel elements to it. So I think that works quite well. That's quite fun. So next we found out the setting, and the setting was for Blood of the Fold by Terry Goodkind. So this is set in the Wizard's First Rule fantasy land, so it's like a high fantasy land with like different countries that are separated by like magical mountain borders, and then they sort of get destroyed, so everyone sort of intermingles. So we've got like people who don't do magic on this side, then we've got people who do magic, and we've got people who do magic and are slightly evil, and then some more evil people down here, and it's a bit weird. Yeah. So then we chose the main character, and that was Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games. So I feel like even though she doesn't have magic, she could come into this book quite well. She would come in from the non-magical land, probably go into more of the magical elements. Maybe she's like hunting something down or something like that. I don't know. Then we found out the secondary characters, and it turned out that the secondary characters were going to be the cast of Obsidio by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. So this works really well because I love the characters that are in Obsidio. Like, they're like a squad that I would so go for. And it kind of mixes that sort of fantasy element with the sci-fi element quite well, especially if you include Aiden. So the next thing that I figured out was the villain, or the main issue. And so then I came across this like conundrum. The book that was picked was Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. So there's no actual villain in that book. It's not a villainous book. So the main issue is sort of about replicants / android sort of people, and what is morally and ethically correct, and what is human. Are androids human? Different things like that. So it's quite morally interesting. So I don't know, and I think that works quite well if you add that aspect to the inclusion of Aiden, and maybe like Katniss is trying to figure out if like these people that have like, I don't know, crashed their spaceship into this magical land are actually human, or like, especially with Aiden, because there's that whole dilemma with how inhuman he's a thinking being. Like, what is the ethical standpoint of that? It's very confusing for me, so I don't know. It's at least an interesting dilemma to have. I definitely just went to check if my camera's still on because I'm bitter still. Anyway, it is, so we're going to carry on going. The next thing we needed to find out was the first trope that's going to be featured, and the book that came up was Ink and Bone by Rachel Kane. So yeah, there's not really that many tropes in there. The only one that I could really think of was that the main character loved to read. Like, you forget that when you read a YA book and, like, the main character just loves to read, and it's because, like, the author loves to read and knows that the people reading the book love to read, so we're all going to instantly, like, have that connection with the main character, but also it's really annoying because you're like, come on, people have other hobbies. Anyway, at least it does actually make sense in Ink and Bone, but, like, I feel like it would be one of those, like, random inclusions in this Frankenbook that we're making, because Katniss would not like to read. Like, there's just nothing in her character that says that she would just be like, ooh, fancy a good book after just shooting like 12 rabbits to feed the 5,000. No, it's not a thing that she would do, but like, it's all I've got, so that's what we're going with. So before I announce the rest of this book, right, this is where things start to get into a bit of spoilery territory. So if you hear me talk about a book from now on, the chances are that I might spoil it for you. So, I mean, be really careful. If you've not read any of the books, just stop the video, abandon ship. Yeah, because it's not worth it. Because the next two things are talking about the endings of the next two books, so I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. You've had ample warning now. I am going to go on with the tag. So, the next one is another trope, and the book that the random number generator picked was Gemina by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, because apparently I just read a lot of J. Kristoff books recently and I love them all. So, okay. Anyway, the main trope that I could think of in this one was the fake out ending. So, something happens, but it's not actually what actually happened. It's actually something different that happened, and they just sort of don't tell you that a little bit, and then there's like a twist. So, yeah, I think that could be interesting, though I don't know what the ending for this Frankenbook will be yet. It could be interesting. Okay, well, I do know, but you don't know. So the next one is another trope, and for that one, the generator picked Nevernight. And the trope that I'm going to go with is that the ending is spoiled on the first page. So what's going to happen is we're going to spoil the ending on the first page and then fake everyone out. So it's like, aha, faked. So it could be interesting, I don't know. We'll see what the ending actually is and then decide whether it can actually be interesting. So the next thing to find out was the writing style, and for this one it picked Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. So the writing style is first person YA narrative. I guess it could work with the characters being Katniss and the Obsidio crew, because they're both from YA books anyway, so I guess it kind of works. Yeah, we'll go with it. So it's going to be from Katniss's point of view, first person. It'll be good, it'll be good. So the next thing we need to find out is the ending, and the book that was picked for this one was Wicked Lovely by Melissa Marr. So the ending of this book, what happens is the main character sacrifices herself and turns into the Fae Queen. So she basically gives up her humanity to become immortal and a Fae Queen. So I guess that's what's going to happen to Katniss. Yay! Oh, but that actually does really make sense though, because, okay, well, let's go through the entire book and I will build my Frankenbook for you guys. So, the genre of this book is sci-fi fantasy with some, I don't know how the time travel element fits in, but yeah, not important. The setting of this book is a high fantasy land that is separated by magical borders that just come down. The main character is Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games. Maybe she's come from the non-magical sort of land into the magical land, and she's uncovering new things about herself. So the secondary characters are the Obsidio crew. So yeah, maybe they've like come down, crashed into this planet, and this is where they are now. They're investigating things. The main issue is going to be, I'm going to say, Katniss trying to discover whether these people are real or if they're androids or something like that, particularly with Aiden, because obviously he's an AI anyway. And imagine if he is in some sort of replicant form. It would be very interesting to see how that worked. I also think maybe Katniss could have been sent to investigate this because she is a good tracker. Maybe she's trying to find them or something like that. I don't know. The main tropes are that the main character loves to read, which Katniss, no, she doesn't, but like we'll pretend. The ending is going to be a fake out and it's going to get spoiled within the first page. So I'm thinking what we do is say that Katniss is going to die in the first page, and what actually happens, because we've discovered our ending, is that Katniss gives up her humanity to become this Fae Queen, because she's in the magical side of the land, and then there's a whole discussion with her, is she human? Is this up for debate, just the same as the replicants being human? What is human? What is ethical? It's getting very philosophical. Yeah. But it might be less of a debate because it's first person narrative, but like, maybe she's questioning herself. Maybe in a similar sort of way to the main character in Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. This book just got way too deep for me, and like, I don't want to discuss the nature of humanity, but that is what this Frankenbook will discuss. So yeah, this book became like a weird sci-fi fantasy twist on the nature of humanity, I guess. That was fun. To be fair, I actually really liked this tag. It was really confusing though at first because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to count my Goodreads, and I was like literally manually counting on my computer. I was like, this isn't working, because I'm like Goodreads illiterate and I don't actually know what to do with it. I can put things on my shelf and go to my reading goal, but that's about it. That's all I use Goodreads for. So yeah, this was really fun though, and I quite like making a Frankenbook out of stuff. So I'd really like it if you did this tag. I'm not going to tag anyone specifically, but like, please do this tag. It's so much fun and I had a great time with it. So if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!